I'm going to be taking you through a yoga for runners sequence. So I'm a yoga teacher, sports massage therapist, and I'm also a keen runner. So in my experience, I've found the two to work really well together. Before I had a super consistent yoga and mobility practice, I was really injury prone with my running. So I found these practices to be really beneficial for me, and hopefully they will be for you too. So I'm going to take you through a full body flow, giving a little extra love to the hips and the hamstrings. We're also going to work with the breath, which is a really powerful part of both yoga and running. So we want to focus on breathing from the diaphragm, so feeling that expansion and contraction all the way down into the belly, and I'll give you some tools to kind of work with that. So make sure that you're nice and comfortable. Come to sit down on your bum. If you've got tight hips, you can prop them up by just sitting on a cushion, or you can extend your legs out in front of you. No worries. Let your hands just rest somewhere natural. And then think about letting your legs be nice and heavy, so you're really grounding down through your sit bones. And then at the same time, can you start to lengthen through the spine so that you're sitting up nice and tall? Okay, take a deep inhalation through your nose. And then as you exhale, close your eyes. And then taking the first moments of your practice, just to become familiar with your natural breath. Noticing if it's deep or shallow. Does it come from your nose, from your mouth? And just know that there's no kind of right or wrong here. We're just gathering a little bit of information. Okay, and then just lightly pressing your tongue towards the roof of your mouth. Let both the inhalation and exhalation come from your nose. We can check in, does this feel any different? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. And then bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your chest. Adding a little bit more intention to your breathing. Can you take the fullest breath you can? So you should feel the belly pressing that hand away. Take a couple more like this. And then we'll take a little breathing exercise. You can relax your hands down if you want to. We're going to do a few rounds of our box breath. So we inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. So that's our box. Now, if the count of 4 doesn't work for you, feel free to adjust. And that goes for at any point during your practice today. If you want to alter anything to make it work for you today, that's fine with me. So we'll get started. I'll count you through. We'll do 3 rounds. So start with the inhalation through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just exhale everything out. Notice how you're feeling now. And then just blinking the eyes open, start to move your head from one side to the other, keeping the chin lifted. With the option of pausing anywhere that feels nice. Okay, bring the head back to center, rest your fingertips down as we inhale, stretch the arms to the ceiling. And then exhale back in front of the chest. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, come down. Once more, inhale, reach up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Pausing here, take your right hand to the mat, spread the fingers, ground the palm, and then leaning over to that right side. Whilst you do this, think about keeping that left hip pinned down to your mat so that you're getting that lovely lengthening down the side of the body. And then swapping over. Lovely, inhale back up, exhale, hands down in front of the heart. Interlacing your fingers, press them away from you. So I want you to really exaggerate this movement now. You're spreading the shoulder blades across your back and pulling your belly in. As we inhale, reach the arms to the ceiling, straightening more through the spine. And then exhale, you round. So if you've done some yoga before and you know your kind of cat-cow movements, you're sort of doing the same thing here, just waking up the spine. Once more. And then just shaking the hands out and come join me on all fours. So we find our tabletop position. Spread your fingers nice and wide, grounding down through the whole palm. We want to bring the shoulders over the wrists. And then take your attention to your legs. Knees are hip width distance apart, and the hips are over the knees. So adjust if you need to. And then lightly engage through the belly and just start to rock back and forth on the hands. So just noticing where it feels good to have the weight through your fingers. So can you keep pressing through the fingertips as well as the palm of the hand? Okay, then coming to that more static position here now. And ground through both the hands, lower the belly, lift the chest, lift the gaze. With your exhalation, tuck the chin. Start to press the earth away, rounding through your spine. And then reversing the movement. So just taking your classic cat-cow. But you can mix it up if you want to add a little wiggle of the hips. And we're still taking those nice full breaths. Okay, come to a neutral spine, keeping the weight even through both hands. Bring your right leg out behind you, keeping it about hip height. Just start to roll through your ankle. Changing that direction. Start to bend through your right knee as you bring it in towards the chest, and then draw a nice big circle here. So it's all about trying to keep the weight nice and even here. So try not to kind of slump over to that one side. Keep it controlled, keep it intentional, and change that direction when you're ready. Okay, extend that leg all the way out again. You're going to lower the foot down and peel your right arm to the ceiling. You can anchor that back leg out a little bit if you need a little more stability. Hand comes to the back of the head, and we're just going to tap the elbow towards the other elbow and open up again. So once more. Once you've tapped, straighten that arm, look towards the top of your mat, right foot steps to the outside, and we take the gaze up. Exhale, hand comes down to the inside of that foot, and we just lift the chest slightly. Okay, step it all the way back, you're back in your tabletop. Other side now, left leg lifts, keep it in line with the hip, and we just roll the ankle. Remembering to change your direction. And then bending through the knee and drawing your lovely big circles. Changing your direction. If you can feel a little bit of heat starting to build in the hip, that's normal, that's good. Extend your left leg and then lower the toes down. Peel that left arm to the ceiling. Bending through your elbow, hand comes to the back of the head, and we take our thoracic rotations here. So we can take 3 or 4. And then extending that arm back to the ceiling, look to the top of your mat, step that left foot all the way out, keeping that arm lifted and the gaze following. As we exhale, left hand comes back to the inside. Step your feet back, you're back in your tabletop. Tuck your toes. Start to stretch the hips back and up, downward facing dog. From here, we want to keep grounded through the hands, and then you can pedal the knees a little bit as well. Now, if you've got super tight hamstrings, then you can keep as much of a bend through the knees as you want. Don't feel like your heels have to be down. It's more about keeping this length in your spine. With your inhalation, come onto your tiptoes and then let your heels drop over to the right side. It's a little side body stretch, and then flipping them over to the left. Okay, back to your down dog. Step your feet now as wide as your mat, maybe even a touch wider. Let your knees stay bent. Walk your hands back towards your feet and sinking the hips so you can be on the toes here. I'm just going to start to wiggle it from side to side. So this is known as your malasana, your yogi squat. And it's just a nice opportunity to start to play around with that internal and external rotation of the hips. Okay, fingertips to the mat. Find a moment of stillness and then start to lift your hips towards the sky. Standing forward, fold. Again, legs don't have to straighten. Let your upper body stay nice and loose. And then start to bend through the knees again, back to your malasana. Take this 2 more times. Again, we can pause anywhere that feels nice. Okay, walk your hands all the way out to a high plank position. So remember to narrow the feet a little bit as well. Shoulders over your wrists, slightly engaging the glutes. Take a nice deep breath in. And out. Lower your knees, untuck your toes, start to bend through your elbows as you come onto your belly. With your inhalation, lift the chest. Exhale, melt it down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pressing your weight all the way back, come to your downward facing dog. Tiptoe your feet towards your hands so you come towards the top of your mat. Keep nice soft knees, taking hold of opposite wrist or elbow. Ragdoll. Here we have the option to sway side to side, bending the knees a little bit, just doing what you need to do. Exhale, release your hands to your mat, roll all the way up to stand, head comes up last. And then just looking straight ahead with a nice soft gaze. Keep your feet at hip width distance apart, palms are shining forward. And take 3 rounds of our sun salutations, which is really good for building a little bit of heat in the body and to connect to your breath. So hands in front of the chest, sweep them all the way down, lifting up, lift the heart. Exhale as you hinge the hips, come to a forward fold. With your inhalation, hands to the shins, flat back. Exhale as you ground your hands and step all the way back, high plank. Move through your chaturanga, so you can do it with the knees down like the first time, or you can take it like me from your high plank, flip the toes and come to an upward facing dog. As you exhale, come back downward facing dog. Take a breath in and out. Look to your hands, step feet all the way up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale to rise up. And then exhale, take it again. Forward fold. Inhale to halfway. Exhale to ground your hands, step back, high plank. Take your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Lovely. Keep breathing. Step feet to the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rising up, open heart. Exhale, third round, let's go. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, ground your hands, step back, high plank. Take your chaturanga. Inhale for up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Lovely. Look to the top of the mat. Step your feet to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale to rise up. And then we come back to our starting pose, mountain pose. Okay, bring your feet as wide as your mat now. Toes are pointing forward. Got a nice neutral spine. Hinge at the hips. Let your hands meet the mat. And you're going to step your left foot back and lower that left knee. Hands come in line with the right foot. You can be on your fingertips or you can have the palms all the way down. And from here, we're just going to have a little play around. So start to shift that weight back and forth by bending and straightening that front knee. Once you found a little bit of rhythm here, can you sync it with your breath? Noticing, is it better to inhale or exhale as you come forward or back? There's no right or wrong, only what works for you. Okay, tuck your back toe, lift your knee, high lizard, peel the right arm up. Exhale, take it back down, start to straighten through that front leg. Maybe you can even pick up the right toes, so you get that lovely stretch down the back here. Very nice. Inhale, look forward, stay on the fingertips, big step up with that left foot. We rise all the way up, lift the arms, lift the heart, and then fold it straight back down, so feet are still nice and wide. This time we step the right foot back, lower the knee and untuck the toe. And we can have that little play around, that little explore of the left hip. And whilst like forward and back might feel like the most obvious, you can also take it side to side if you want to. Okay, lovely stuff. Ground the hands, tuck the back toe, lifting the knee. Take a moment to feel that stretch in the right hip as well. And then peeling that left arm up. Exhale, draw it back down. Start to straighten through your front leg. Maybe you can lift the toes. It might mean coming onto the fingertips, so that's cool. Lovely. Inhale, ground that foot. Step your right foot all the way back up and then rise all the way up to stand. Heel toe your feet back together. And we're going to take a little bit of balance. So grounding down through your left foot, it can be helpful to choose a focus point. We call it our drishti. So choose something in front of you that's not moving. Ground through your left foot and find tree pose with your right. So you can either keep the toes on your mat a little higher, or you can use your hand to hoik it up onto your leg. So finding what works for you. Bringing the hands in front of the chest. And just checking in with your breath. As we inhale, we're going to reach the arms all the way up above the head. And then with your exhalation, bring them back in front of the chest. And again, inhaling up and exhaling down. Once again, inhaling up, exhaling down. Slide your right foot in front of your left leg. Start to look at your thumbs, lifting the arms and following with your gaze. As you exhale, hinge your hips, let the hands come all the way down. Now, listen carefully. We ground into the right foot and step the left leg back, lowering that right shin down. So you land in your pigeon pose. If it's too much for the hip, feel free to sit down on the right hip and find your deer. But otherwise, you can be up here with me. We're going to tuck the toe, lift the knee, just making it that little bit more active by contracting your glutes. Option to press into that front foot. Maybe you lift the hips up a little here. And then lower it down. Untuck your toe. Perhaps you can come onto the forearms for a moment. And just feel into that right hip touch more. Taking another nice deep breath. And then come all the way back onto your hands. Slide your left leg in and step your right foot between your hands. So I'll show you that once more. So we're in our pigeon. You slide your left leg in, step your right foot between your hands, and then bring your hands in front of your chest. Option now to untuck or tuck the toe. I'm going to be strong in this right leg. I'm going to lift and lower with that left leg. Take 5 or 6. And then tucking your toe, load this right leg, stand all the way up and find your tree pose on the other side. Whichever variation you did on the other side, take again here. And then again, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands come down in front of the chest. And again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, down in front of the chest. Slide your left foot in front of your right. Look to your thumbs and lift the arms. As we exhale, folding forward. press into your left foot, step your right foot back and find pigeon to the left side. Keep the toes tucked to start with, nice and active. Option to sit over on the hip if it doesn't work for you. And then maybe we lift the knee, contracting your glutes. Option for hands to come down and to press into that foot, press into the hands. With your exhalation, release, untuck the toe, and coming all the way down onto the forearms if you want to. Okay, looking up, coming onto your hands, we slide that right leg in, step the left foot between the hands, a little fiddly to get there, but you've got it. Hands come in front of the chest, and we lift, and we lower. So this is a really good way of kind of strengthening and stretching at the same time. You'll be able to feel that kind of lengthening down that right quad. Make sure your stance is narrow enough as well. It's a lot harder if you get wider. Do 2 more. And then rather than stand all the way up now, we're going to press into that right foot, step the left back as well. So you're in a kneeling position, hands come to your lower back, draw the elbows in towards each other, just lightly opening through the front body. Exhale, come to sit back over your heels. Let your hands rest on your legs. Take a lovely deep breath in through your nose. And then with your exhalation, closing off your eyes. Turn your attention back to your breathing. And just notice how it's feeling in comparison to at the start of today's practice. And that's not really like an invitation for judgment, it's simply observation. Okay, to finish our practice, we're going to take a couple of minutes of quiet, and I'll let you know when it's time to come back. Okay, just bringing your hands in front of your chest. Take a little moment just to thank yourself for taking your time on your mat today, showing up for yourself. And just using this as a little opportunity to show a little bit of gratitude for you and also for this practice. We'll rub our hands together, create some heat, some energy, feel the power of your practice. And then just placing your hands over your face, take a nice deep breath in and out. And with a smile, we will finish this class here. So I hope that you've enjoyed this practice with me and that you're feeling good now. If you want to get in touch, practice any more with me, I'm on Instagram as Tula Movement, and that's my website as well, so you've got all the details on there if you'd like to get in touch. So thank you again for practicing me, and I hope to see you back on the mat again soon.